You are listening to 15 Minutes, the show with Osiris Munir, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's Osiris with 15 Minutes to Show. Yeah, I know you heard me out there. I'm on my new platform. Got some nice orange and gray rooms, walls in here. And today, of course, you know, we always like to do it live, and it's live for real now. Okay, we're on live radio. I have in my presence and in yours, the owners of ACCA Fine Arts Company in Beverly Hills, Maya Ito and Carlos Benitez. Hey, welcome. Yay, welcome. So they are here live with us today. So say hi to everyone. Carlos and Maya, introduce yourselves.
Hi everyone, this is Maya.
Yeah, she's so cute.
Oh, I'm a little bit nervous.
It's okay. I know, because live is so different than when you can see yourself like versus you see live. But trust me, there are a whole gazillions of people out there watching. So just be aware that although we're sitting in a room, there are like thousands, literally upon thousands of people watching right now. So thank you all out there for watching us. So let's get into the show. I want to talk to these good, fine people about some stuff. So I am very, very happy to be a part of ACCA. This is how I know these people. And they are a multi-diverse company in Beverly Hills. So I'm going to start off by asking what I always want to know is how you and Carlos met.
Oh, that's a good question.
How did you and Carlos meet?
I think Maya should be
Maya,
the
go.
right one to answer
Yeah,
this one.
that's why you asked me. Carlos is just a bit nervous.
Go.
Carlos is cute. So I met Carlos is back to like 6 years ago. Yeah, we introduced about a mutual friend and in Beverly Hills. And then he invited us to his gallery, just open from West Hollywood. When I saw everything, and he curated the art there, is so organized. I said, "Oh, this guy is really is a good curator." Yeah, that's what the first my impressive for Carlos.
Yeah, good. And so Carlos, after you two met, the process of forming ACCA. So just so people, let me reiterate, ACCA is unique. It is not just a gallery. So it is a fine arts company that houses a gallery, like a boutique gallery, I would say. It also houses a journal, which is a magazine. It also houses all of these things. So I would like I'm going to ask Carlos this question. Carlos, since you met them and you were already moving and they, you know, everybody kind of hooked up and joined in the same path here, what makes ACCA unique? Because in my opinion, and I've been to some of their events, people, they are very unique. I've never seen a company in Beverly Hills as warm as they are. And you know how Beverly Hills can be. They are warm. You feel welcome. You don't feel like you're, you know, out of your element, so to speak. And at the same time, you're networking with some very prestigious VIP level type people, just as some very grounded down there people. So Carlos, talk to us.
Yes, I agree, I agree to all that. But our background, obviously, it's an art, and we understand very early in the days that art brings people together. No matter what culture, what age, what background. So we decided to then invest in people. So when you look at our events, our demographics, you see people from financing, you see people from all sorts of lives, because I think that art, it's a bridge, and we're using it very well, as a bridge to connect with everyone. And since our background comes not just from like emerging artists, but also artists with records, we're able to connect with different levels. So if you're entry level and just starting to learn about art, obviously we like to hold your hands and walk you through the steps. But if you are very advanced and you're a collector, and maybe you even using it as business, we can see eye to eye and guide you, so you have good results.
Now, how has ACCA been beneficial in building up the area of Beverly Hills, especially with it housing and being such a multifunctional company? So a lot more people can hear about Beverly Hills now without just, the regular agencies there, the regular restaurants and places like that that are in Beverly Hills. But with some of the events that I've been privileged to going to with ACCA, there seems to be other things like I had never heard of the pink, I had never heard of the pink until you and I'm like, wow, there's a pink something in Beverly Hills. So, I'd like for you to talk about how are you able to collaborate with these different venues. I remember last year, I know FREIZE was here and you guys did some stuff with FREIZE. We talked about you doing some things with Miami Art Basel. You are at the VIP top of the list everywhere I go, and I go quite a few places. So why don't you talk about the difference that ACCA makes in Beverly Hills versus some of the other places that have been there for years and they've not done that much? I'm
Sure,
not putting
sure.
anyone down. I'm just saying have not seen.
Well, I'm an ex-resident of Beverly Hills. I,
Oh,
I raised my child there. She's 25,
oh wow.
and like you seen, I noticed a lot of that. So one of the things that actually is changing that and making all this happen is Maya, because Maya is a very good connector. I mean, when I met Maya, that's the first thing I saw. It's like she has an eye. She's very friendly,
Mhm.
and she's very kind and very honest, and she's able to communicate. I mean, either you're in a lounge area, or you're a fashion event, or you are some product launch at Bulgari. Like, Maya's able to connect at different levels. So I think that that bridge is getting longer because of Maya. Yeah.
Oh God.
Exactly. And that's why, in my opinion, without putting anybody down, it is so important to have a woman on board,
Right.
and a lot of smart men will put the woman out there. You like put her face out there because, usually the women are attractive, they're
Mhm.
sensual, they are, everything that can draw people into and engage in conversation. And I know when I first got a call from ACCA and I spoke to Maya, I just felt like I was home. I felt safe. I felt like I wasn't talking to somebody blowing smoke up my butt.
Hmm.
I felt that she was honest with me about, where I was with my artistry and my development. And I want to ask Maya some more about what is the art of connecting? How do you connect these people? Do you travel to see people? People come see you. I remember when I went to the first show,
Yeah.
I swear you guys, all of these people showed up. It was like maybe an hour before the event was closing, maybe even 45 minutes. And it was just a whole nother level of prime folk that showed up. And I was like, wow, I was gonna leave. I'm like, well, I better hang around some if I want to network. So how does that magic happen?
That's a good question. Actually, first is I think we are all the people. We are the art first.
Mhm.
So for me, is my background is international business. So I was born in China. So I went to Japan, and when I was earlier, so my Korean business style is Japanese style.
Mm.
So I traveling a lot in the world. So it's like a art and the museum is after when I finish a business, the first thing I like to do by my own.
Mhm.
So that brings me a come to this level, and also I understand people. And when I saw Carlos's platform, I think, oh, you know what? I think I need to change a little bit business model with Carlos because he
Hmm.
really a good curator, and also he's hard worker. So if we complement each other. I'm
Yes, you
sorry.
do.
So we fall in love, business love. I mean,
Yes, I understand. Yeah. Understand, people out there, she didn't mean they had nothing on us. So don't start no rumors and go out there talking stuff that you don't know you're talking about.
Yes.
They mean they fell in love with each other like I fell in love with my friends when I met them. It was a
Yes.
natural spiritual connection,
Yeah.
something that felt warm and safe and comfortable. That's what she's talking about. Okay, Mom.
Yeah, actually, it's a Carlos. They have like a meeting. They
Mhm.
invited me to be a interpreter because
Oh.
his artist is Chinese. So
Okay.
yeah, I went to the meeting to trying to help them. And later on, Carlos say, "Hey, Maya, I think you are not just a translator. You're a businesswoman." I said, how do you know? Is it if you like?
So you're the one that got her all fired up. That's why she's just powerful. Like now, she's just unstoppable. You know.
Yeah. So since we start work and think those days, I noticed it's social media. It's social media is a good thing, but sometimes they destroy some traditional business. So I talked to Carlos. I think you really have good eye with artists, and also we need to change a little bit business model for your company. So we update the gallery to a corporation.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah,
that's a good move too. You know.
Yeah, and also I like you just mentioned your first time you come with us. You feel like our community is
I
very
did.
friendly,
I just warm.
very warm. That's what we are trying to build. I think in Beverly Hills, so many, and also that so many people different from different countries.
That's right.
And I like the words you just mentioned, diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those days in we are facing is like a cross culture, cross industry. So I think Beverly Hills need that.
And you're ahead of
Should
the
be
curve.
planned. Yes.
And you are ahead of the curve because I'm out of Beverly Hills. Anybody that knows anything about me, I came out of William Morris and all those big companies, corporate companies over there in Beverly Hills for years. I was in Beverly Hills. Even when I left William Morris, I worked for some attorney's firm in Beverly Hills and things. So Beverly Hills was like my stomping ground, especially off of Charlieville, where all the restaurants were. We used to walk across the street and walk over there. But Beverly Hills was not always the warmest place. And I'm saying that as a fact. And for those of you that want to talk to me, you can call me or send me an email or go on Facebook. I'm telling you what I know to be true. It was not always very warm. And it was particularly not warm to people of color. And I have been in LA since 1981. And I have been on every side of this industry. I can talk very honestly and openly about what I've experienced. And until I met Carlos and Maya, I wasn't ever going to go into Beverly Hills again. There was no reason for me going there. I know all the shops in Beverly Hills. I know where they go and get their clothes from. There was no reason. And I'm a former model. And so I was able to, tap into something else. But when I found out they were in Beverly Hills, it kind of enticed me to go back over there. And I'm glad that I did because I didn't know that it had shifted so much. And I think that part of the new shift in Beverly Hills are companies like ACCA.
Yes, and also we want people come to Beverly Hills. It's not just go to Chanel.
Yeah.
Here's the culture.
Mhm.
It's art connected with everybody. That is ACCA.
And that's why, we say, art, it does create this bridge.
It brings art and music, art,
Yes.
music, and food.
I mean, yeah, art, music, and food. And I don't know what comes first, but if you put them together,
It's a mess.
you have a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is changing, and I think that the city is embracing us. I mean, we just done a series of events with the Chamber of Commerce, and one of the things they
What Chamber of Commerce of Beverly
Beverly
Hills?
Hills.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
It's
that's great.
amazing.
That's
Yeah.
great. So talk to us a little bit
Yeah.
about what happened. How did that happen?
So now they're looking at when outsiders come in and say, we want to work with Beverly Hills. We want to, feel how we can be welcome, So like, for example, the Bahamas government, they send diplomats to Beverly Hills and say,
Oh, wow.
show us what you have. So immediately we got an email and say, oh, we want you guys to show a little bit of
Ooh,
culture.
Look at that. Look
Little
at
bit of
that.
culture.
Out there representing.
Yeah. So they're getting it, it's not just like Maya said, the Gucci and the
And the
Chanel, but
Chanel shops.
Oh, I love Chanel, but
We love you, Chanel and
Yeah.
Gucci, but hey.
don't get me wrong.
but after you get a few of those, right, you want to have a conversation.
Yes.
You want to open up your feelings to what's on the walls, and and what's happening. So the city is changing, but then we're also seeing uh, things like Beverly Hills Fashion Week, which I've been actually quite surprised that that never happened
I didn't even know
before.
they have a
Oh,
Beverly
they
Hills
did.
back.
yeah.
They just
Really?
started. They just
Yeah.
launched
Ooh,
it.
when did it start?
It just happened last
2024
weekend.
was the first
Yeah,
one.
yeah. It
Yes.
just happened
Oh wow,
last
get it,
weekend.
Beverly Hills.
Just happened last
Okay,
week.
BH.
So guess what?
What?
We got a
Invite.
phone call and said
Yeah.
we want to introduce you to the Beverly Hills Fashion Group. They like the journal, and they want the journal to be the platform to record everything that's going to happen during the show.
Now let me
So-
stop you right there. How did the journal, because you started as a company, you had some few artists, you good eye visionary, you found Maya, then here goes the whole big, spiritual awakening. We're in the path, we're going to create and develop this energy called ACCA, this business. How did the journal happen that you decided to not only visualize it but write about it and show it in a magazine and everything? And I want you to show the magazine. The magazine is I was in there. Okay, so I think I'm a celebrity now because I was in the journal. Oh, bad, it's bad.
Well,
So that showed them the cover of that magazine. Tell me that's not a high level VIP magazine. Come on now.
I think
Come on.
I like to.
It's beautiful.
I like to answer
gorgeous.
the question instead of colors.
Okay, well, either one of you,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah, because
And Maya works behind the scenes very closely with the magazine, I might add.
well, this is also the cover she chose.
She created.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
you
created
did
that,
it.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So she's got vision.
yeah, because since those day we talk about multi-talent and
Mhm.
also diversity,
Hmm.
Carlos is like a really as cross industry or a multi-talent person.
And so are you.
Because his background is a photographer,
Mhm.
and also he did a lot of private publish.
Oh.
Yeah, and what unique about his gallery before, he every time every show he print and he lay out and he publish it by his own as a catalog. And when we work together as a Carlos, is those day as a physical print is a little bit disappear in the marketing.
Yeah, it
And,
has.
yeah,
kind of
yeah, I
disappeared.
think you have very good quality and to be a magazine publisher to record and document the artist, and also is for the coffee table magazine,
Yeah, it is.
and that's how we decide.
That's how you
Yeah, we
decide.
decide and put
So the magazine was the brainchild of both of you. You talked about Carlos having a talent to publish and gather information, and then who comes up, Maya? Do you go out and get people the stories? Who gets the stories to go in the magazine? Who gets the images? That's what you do.
Yes, mostly I invite people, I curate people, I curate artists, and
Uh-huh.
we both decide
Oh,
and
okay.
together. But mostly Carlos do the chief editor.
Okay.
I do the cover interview. Every.
I love the way that you two partners build each other up.
But
I love that.
we have a different
I'll
jobs.
say Maya say, well, I'm going to talk about that. Okay, Maya, go ahead. And then, but she'll talk about how wonderful and great Carlos is.
Yeah.
And then Carlos say, I'll talk about that. And he'll talk about how
Oh my
incredible
gosh.
Maya is. So go ahead, Carlos. What are we going to say?
But I mean, it does work like
It
that,
works like
It is a work.
So,
Yeah.
so like
It's good, it's good.
like this journal actually, we always created, like Maya say, a small catalog. It wasn't called a journal. It was just like the show catalog,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and it would normally be like 6 to 10 pages because it was very exclusive to the exhibition, to the artist.
Oh.
Obviously, we believe in archiving everything we do, and when Maya came on board, obviously she's like a megaphone. She's just amplifying everything
Yes.
that we've been doing for the
Yeah.
last 10 years.
Yes.
So obviously everything else, just a bigger version of what is been happening with ACCA. So organically we have enough content. It's either
Yes. True.
Oh,
internal
okay.
shows, internal artists, or featuring a community leader. Obviously it's a platform to motivate, it's a platform to invite, but it's also to educate people. There is more people who want to be involved with arts. We've seen that after the
Mhm.
pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
People have more time. They got more curious, right, to learn things. So
And
we
therapeutic, I might add.
well, you know what?
Art is therapy for me. I'm telling you that now. I'm
Um,
very honest.
you know, we
Without it, I'm pretty crazy.
we continue to learn ourselves.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that we see.
This is a
How,
journal.
how
It's
the
beautiful.
art is cross promoting into health and wellness.
Now, the artist on the cover, is that one of ACCA's artists?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, you want to talk about that, Maya?
Oh yeah, John Phillippe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and we call him GP,
Okay.
and he's very talent and also a multi talent, and
Okay.
he also start a photographer. He's
Oh,
very,
okay.
yeah, he's
Oh,
very,
wow.
he's a
Okay.
very well known and a very good photographer,
Oh,
and
wow.
also he's a painter. Yeah, he's when I meet him, I think it's the first Carlos's show, and we worked together, and he came, and that time Carlos curate a little room for Basquiat.
Okay.
I learned Basquiat from Carlos. When he creative curate a little room, he said, "Oh, we're gonna do experience for Basquiat." I said, "Who is this guy? I didn't know. I'm from
Mhm.
Japan, from
Mhm.
China.
Mhm.
I didn't know Basquiat about it."
Mhm.
And later on, and Carlos, "Oh, that guy is Basquiat's cousin."
It's a lot of Americans didn't know Basquiat
Yeah, and
either.
and
Oh,
also he came, and Jean Philippe came,
mhm.
and later on Carlos talked to me. He said, "Oh, that guy is Basquiat's cousin." And I said, "Why did you tell
Is
me?"
he?
Yeah,
Well,
He's
his
Jean-Michel's
Yeah.
cousin.
Yeah.
Are you
his
serious?
lineage.
And his name is Jean-Philippe?
yeah,
Jean-Philippe.
yeah. The
Ah,
whole
don't
family
you love
have the
saying it's
Jean.
Jean-Michel and
I think
Jean?
I think he has a last name. It's a French name.
It's Philippe, right?
No, after
No, what
Philippe,
is it? What is it?
Bashu.
Bashir.
Bashu.
Yeah, I couldn't pronounce it. Sorry.
Bashu. Bashu. How's this?
Yes, I think.
Wow,
I
it's
think so.
beautiful.
Yeah, and he's very talented too.
Well, I
So-
personally met him at the show I went to, as I was telling everybody, and he's very elegant. He has this, you know, when you meet certain people and you can tell like it's something about them, you don't know them,
I
but
see.
it's something like strong that pulls you in. Like, who are you? You're important because I can't stop looking at you, or I can't stop wanting to talk to you.
Oh, you meet him.
So I made him smile.
I forgot.
I know.
We did
I
the
made him
magazine show,
smile, and I
yeah.
jumped in front of his face and I said, "Hi, I'm Osiris," and he kind of cracked a smile and
Yeah.
started laughing. I got his picture.
Well, there's a story behind that.
What's the story?
So,
That's what we want to do here.
so we believe that everything should have an experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first show I worked with Maya actually was sort of like organized
It's
without
like a
her,
pop-up show,
and
yeah.
she was that was her first show. So we had this one particular collection that we're representing, which
Okay.
was a cover that Jean-Michel Basquiat created
Okay.
for a band in the 80s in New
Oh,
York.
yeah, that's not the music.
Yeah,
cover.
yeah, because
Okay.
he always wanted to be a
He was
musician,
musician, I
you
know.
know.
Interesting,
But
yeah.
it seems like he wasn't so good.
He was better
in
at
being a
painting.
musician. He was better at painting.
Yeah.
So he like had these bands called the Ops, and he
Mhm.
created these covers. So when you create an album cover back in the days, you selling your rights. So this is the one piece of art that did not belong to the state, to Jean-Michel
Oh.
Basquiat state.
Oh.
So we
you were able to
represented
get-
that piece. And for this show, we wanted to create an experience. So what we did is we went out, we sort of like created this room. We brought in a vinyl record player where we played the actual vinyl.
Okay,
which was in
good.
the
Yeah, I
cover,
guess
you
I
know.
still got some
And-
vinyl.
and-
I still got
and-
some vinyl.
And then through the sources, I wanted to find something of lineage to Basquiat. I happened to know this fashion designer in Beverly Hills who was at that time working with him. and I invite him to come and do a collaboration with Jean-Michel
Mm.
Basquiat. So I provide him an album cover, and then he went in and he created an
Did it, didn't it?
overlay, and it was just like, the original, the music. We even printed a map showcasing where he will hang around in New York, just so create this vibe. And then inviting John Phillippe just kind of like created a full experience, because now we have even someone,
It's
a lineage that
connected,
it's in the
yeah,
room.
in the DNA.
So why people come to our shows? Because we're always thinking, what would be the experience, and we change it. I mean, we had a lot of experience under our sleeves, so we
Now-
just
And now let me explain a little bit. I have to intercede in here because I know people are a little modest when they talk about themselves.
I
But
like
when they
that.
do a show, you guys, it's like an experience. It's not like one. I'm going to tell you something. I'm being very honest. I'm an artist, but I did not like galleries. They were boring to me. To just walk in, you have to stand around and look like, okay, I'm looking.
Here you
know.
go. Yes.
I'm looking, all right. And so what am I supposed to do? Okay, well, then you have somebody talk a little bit about the art. But when I went to their event, hey, I got to dance, and you know how I love to dance.
you and everybody else.
We were dancing. It was like a party, like an event. And then, Maya was there. Carlos, everybody was doing their thing. But Maya in particular, what I liked about what you did was she made sure that none of the art got damaged.
Oh yeah.
And she made sure that, everybody kept away from where the art was, but that everybody was still able to have a good time. I'm coming it was like, it was like, wow, this is, it wasn't boring at all. I mean, I was like, I hated to go home. They had to tell me to go home. I was like, okay, I do have to go home tonight. But it was so cool. So I want to talk to you, Maya, about what you said. You're Chinese. Number one, it's unique to be Chinese with Japanese and then have them both work together.
Yes.
Because I happen to know both cultures, and all the times it's not an easily mesh.
Mhm.
So for you to be able to put those two cultures together and then put America on top of that, and by the way, there are Americans, they don't know who Jean-Michel Basquiat is.
Oh my God.
If you're not in art, you may not know who it is. If you're in finances or whatever your field of expertise is.
Actually,
But
if you're in financing, you know.
Yeah, well, you're in finance, and you would know because you have to sell,
Right.
Yeah.
But in terms of, some people just don't know who some artists are. They may not have been interested. So explain to us about how that is, how you were able to take the two cultures, meet Carlos, put it together, and then come up with these grand themes of how to promote this stuff, how to
That's-
promote it.
Yeah, this is a very good question. Is because I'm very lucky and can able to live in the three countries, and China, Japan, America. Is especially people think, oh, you are Asian, and Chinese and Japanese they're totally different. Yeah, and
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, we have similar things, but different.
Yes.
And also those cross culture background bring me come today. That is I discovered, and also I noticed and I realized today everyone is multi-talented.
Mhm.
For example, like you are you are a hoster, and also you're a musician. And,
No, I'm not a musician.
And you're dancers.
I'm a former dancer, but I don't know.
And also
I
you're
think I'm a
painter.
musician last life, but
Yeah.
not this one.
Like
But I'm a
me,
photojournalist.
like me, I'm so happy, and also thanks for Carlos discover me my talent. Yeah,
He
'cause,
discovered Maya.
no, because I thought I'm gonna end my life with just like I used to work for a big company
Born.
internationally. Yeah, so but I never thought go to museum and looking at the art, buy the art is like my hobby. I never thought my hobby can change to my career.
Mhm,
So yeah,
mhm.
so I talked to Carlos. I said, when we gotta focus, some people is they have different talents. It's so in the old days they have the one word is called Renaissance.
Mhm.
Yeah, but Renaissance is different meaning.
Yeah.
But today it's you can say today people say everybody have multi-talent.
A talent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Well, there are people that are one-dimensional.
yeah.
There are people that are one-dimensional and they have talent, but their talent may be in conversation or things like that. But in terms of
Yeah.
being creative, yeah, there are a lot of people that are, not everyone has the discipline to handle all of their different talents. But for certain, there are people that are multi-level. You're multi-talented,
But
you
some
know,
people, if you don't know what you're good at,
until you do it.
you know some how you're good at it, but some another people know
Mm-hmm.
about you,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't even notice about
Yes.
yourself. That's
Yes.
how is our company and in trying to help people more expanding the talent and show the people. And my life experience bring me to knowledgeable to notice those things, and also art is international. So
And
like
that's
with
another
different
thing.
cultures,
You're
yeah.
they're international. They're
Yeah.
not just stuck in the US.
No.
They are broad and international. And that's another thing that I like, is because I hate being in a box. I hate just being a color or a culture. I like being everything. I'm a human, so you want to experience everything about what you can experience in being human, with all the different
Yeah.
facets of humanity, different cultures, different art, different, music, art, culture, technology. Now, Carlos, this is a question for Carlos. Carlos, do you remember that piece of art you were showing? It was like a technical. You remember Maya? It was something in a glass case at the show.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
I
it
was
the
looking
camera.
at it. And Carlos said, "Oh, yeah." He said, "I thought that was really cool. I like that." I said, "That is a good idea." What that brings in the art and design of technology. So how does ACCA deal with digital formats and technology? Like when you meet artists that are, I think they're called, I'm going to mention my good friend Karen LaFleur out of the Inspiration Art International Group, and Bibiana Hwang, who's the curator artist. She is a tech expressionist. So that's what they're calling those kind of artists now, are tech expressionists, where it's all digital and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So
right.
how does that fit into the traditional art theme?
Well,
How does that?
we see it, as it's about time, because art really hasn't been changed for a long time. It's been the traditional,
It has been.
canvas, oil, acrylics, and now, we have objects and things like that, but not much in technology. So I
Mhm.
mean, we so like recognize it, we embrace it. We don't feel like it's gonna
Take over.
substitute, what we know and what we grew up and what art's all about. But we don't ignore it.
So we don't have to be afraid that
Yeah,
the
but
machines are
No,
going
but
to take over the
Oh,
art
no,
business
no.
and
but
start painting for artists and all
right.
that, right?
I mean, there's still the feelings. There's still the notion of the human touch, right? So that's not going to go away.
Okay.
But
Okay.
interesting that you mentioned that piece of art on that show, which
Mhm.
basically I see as a dissection of a camera, right? Because
It's stuck in my mind.
it was like
Oh my gosh.
every single component that makes the camera was separated so you could see the skeleton part of what's inside. But that was actually the first time the art was changed
Mhm.
on the invention of that particular piece of art that we're looking at, because prior to that, portraits had to be done by painting. Any sort of art was a painting.
Mhm.
And then the camera was invented, which was the biggest piece of technology back
It
in those
was,
days, and
yeah.
it just changed the art world.
Mhm.
So that's how we see technology. uh, do not take it for granted. Use it and make it part of your collection. Collect some uh, digital art.
Yeah. It's really beautiful. I had never heard of technical art until I met Karen and I came up be a member of the part. It's a New York group called Inspiration. It's mostly, people that are emerging artists that have
Mhm.
different talents.
Sure, sure.
And Bibiana Huang, who I want to give a shout out to because
Oh.
she gave me a break, and that's how I came to you, because through all these different steps, I met you and Carlos, and you are right here. But I had no idea that technical art could be so diverse and could be so lucrative in terms of money wise. It's a very lucrative industry right now. But I want to talk to you a little bit more about how the process, how how do you choose the artists? How do you choose the projects that match to ACCA? Like, do you get a volume of letters that come in? Do people stop by the company? Do they call you on the phone and say, hey, we heard about you on LA Talk Radio, or we saw you at Pink Moon, or we met you in some of the venues or whatever you're doing at the FREIZE? Because I know you go to FREIZE every year and you're on one of their VIP list. What process is that? How does that
So
happen?
for us is
How'd that happen?
organically.
Okay.
You know,
So you go by the feeling and spirit.
we think like art. There's no boundaries.
Oh,
How we're gonna connect with you. Sometimes
okay.
it's a personal introduction. Sometimes it's just an email that comes across my desk. Someone that Maya maybe met in the past, and because their connection to art, and then later on they find out that now she's in the art community. You know, they want to work with us.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just different ways. One of
Different
the
way, yes.
one of the best ways that I like is, walking around and just seeing something that it's unique
Catches
and
your.
different. Then it's like, oh, I gotta write their names, and
Oh,
I gotta
wow.
go into the computer and research and find out, what's behind it. Because, most people, that's the one thing that they take for granted, the work that goes behind anything that's on the
Are you
wall.
kidding?
So I encourage everyone, do your research. Don't just look at that piece on the wall. Find out how did that piece got to that wall, because that's
Mhm.
where the magic happens. That's when you really
The
know
process.
who's behind that piece.
And all the work and energy that is involved in
Yeah.
what looks easy to us on the outside. It's like, trust me, it's like hours of work and toil and sweat. And then you get mad and throw the art down, then you pick it back up. It's all these things that happen with frustrated artists, or people
Well,
that are
also,
creating.
I mean, artists do it to share, right? It's a
Yes,
personal, it's a
personal
meaning,
experience.
and I mean, it's a lot of work, and as you know, most artists work alone, and
I do.
there's a lot of feelings in there. It's not just what you see, it's what the artist felt, and when you are alone, that's when you're the most open to your feelings.
It's like taking your insides, raw insides, and exposing it to the public in fear that, they will they like it, or won't they like it, or should I just like it, or I don't care if they like it, or that kind of thing. Some artists don't want to share their work at all.
Yeah.
They just want to work. They don't want to go into the public. What's her name? Van Alma Van Clint, I think her name is. She waited 21 years. She told them to wait 21 years after her passing to release her art, because she felt that the world was not ready for
Mm,
the kind of art that she made.
yeah.
So just to let you guys know, there are a lot of artists, like Carla said, and like Maya saying, that that do things behind the scenes they may not necessarily want to share until after their passing or something like
I
that.
always encourage artists to create for themselves, don't have expectations, things happen later on
Like,
when people start looking at it.
and it's
I would say,
honest. That's
sorry,
honest. Go
sorry,
ahead.
sorry, I tend to interrupt you.
No, you're not.
Because no, after listening your this conversation, I personally think art and artist, the first thing is very personal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all individual personal, and and also art is hearing, and the first thing art is hearing created on the canvas, and then
Mm-hmm.
later after personal, you can open to public. So when you open public, you get a lot sharing, you get lots of income.
Feedback.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
feedback, income, like
Mm-hmm.
an audience, they can be in very personal in touch with any of your painting.
Right.
Yeah, that's art is so powerful. Yeah, and
So you feel like it's like having a piece of the person. If you
yeah,
buy a piece of art, you're like buying a piece of an individual's
yeah,
spirit or something housed, right?
right.
Yeah.
So that is become like a personal become public, public become personal. That's all connected with the human soul and a human emotion.
So you're moved. Both of
Yeah.
you are moved. You're moved by certain kinds of art, or what moves you in terms of being a curator and all of that? What moves you? Like, are there certain kinds of art that move you personally, or you just stay open to like, I want something to move me. If it can move me, I'm in. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I think for me, if I
Yeah.
look at the art, there's a few ways I look at. The first things have to be the first eye inside.
Okay.
You gotta be like, oh, I really love this painting. You love this painting. Maybe it's from like emotion. You feel like something connected with your life, and
Hmm.
something is a technique. Oh, amazing! How come
Oh,
do
how
the
they did that.
how they do that?
Mm.
Gonna surprise.
Hmm.
You know, another is it's sometimes you feel like a traditionally we think artist is has to be from the school become an artist, and they
I'm self-taught.
right, and then sometimes like a self teaching or a self creative, not from any school, and that uh, we discover the give some people a second chance, like maybe you are a retired teacher, but
And you get
maybe
a second.
you been
Hmm.
working on the art, but
Hmm.
somehow maybe your artwork so much better than some already in marketing, and also that's a life encouragement, just about art, and then you feel more confident. I
Hmm.
remember the first time when you work with us,
I was
how
scared.
no how exciting you are and how scared you are,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes you keep the passion on your painting. Sometimes you scare how audience are thinking about it.
But it was that's
That's
what I'm
all
saying.
about. Yeah, that's
It
all
was the
about it.
warmth though that
Yeah.
ACCA presented. The warmth. I mean, it doesn't matter about an age or your maturity. When it
Exactly.
comes to meeting people, that I
Yeah.
felt humble like a little kid, like I don't know what to do. And
Yes.
somebody told me I could paint, and that was nice. And then somebody might want to buy it, but
Mhm.
I may not feel that way or whatever. So when you have people like Maya and you have people like Carlos that can encourage you as an artist, it helped me relax and continue to develop my art. Like you
Exactly.
told me, Maya, some people do well on the first night. Some
Mhm.
people do well on the fifth night. Some people do well in 5 years. Some people,
Yes.
there's no engaging. You just have to continue.
Yes.
And the fact that you said that to me took me out of the, oh my gosh, I got to sell all this art and I got to, all these people have know who I am, blah, blah. I mean, it doesn't really work like that. It is a definite process and it's a path. I personally hated art. I had never thought about art, didn't want to be an artist, couldn't stand artists. It was boring to me. I'm like, no. And then all of a sudden, some voice spoke to me, and I was compelled, not forced, compelled, meaning that I couldn't sleep. I had to get up and start. I was painting and going on, didn't know why, and I kept saying, I can't stop painting. I can't sleep. I can't. And then all of a sudden it calmed down. And then next thing you know, it's all these years later, and here I am talking to Maya and Carlos. Now, Carlos, where are you from? Everybody talks about where Maya's from. Where are you from with Benitez? What is
I
that?
like that question.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people ask me
Yeah,
that,
where are you
and
from?
they say, "Are you from Mexico? Are you from Guatemala?" I say, "No, I'm from this little tiny country. It's called El Salvador,
You're from
and
El
and
Salvador, El
and yeah,
Salvadorian.
Salvadorian. Yeah,
Yeah.
but then I was raised here in LA, so
All your life,
it's
or
yeah, all my life.
wow,
So I'm still learning,
about you.
about that culture.
What, isn't that
But
interesting?
Yeah.
the more I learn, the more I realize, wow, there's some good things happening there, and I
And you have an
wish,
end. That's home.
I wish, they do well. They're embracing technology. It's the
Yeah.
first country that's accepted like cryptocurrency, and it's sort of like,
Does
you know.
ACCA do? I want to ask this question. Does ACCA do cryptocurrency? How is that working in the art
Oh,
world?
we don't do that. But for a
What
while, we thought about collaborate with
would
the
it work?
blockchain, but all of a sudden it's gone. The moment, that's very
Yeah.
fast. Just what you just mentioned. The states like NFT is
Yeah, and all of that.
blockchain and
Yeah.
also AI. So it's nothing scared. It's just a human. We discover new things every each day.
And they come and go.
But the classics and traditional sense still there.
Mhm.
Yeah. One thing about Carlos, I want to share a little bit very personal.
Thank you.
When I met him, I didn't know where he come from. I didn't ask. I thought he's Indian, and I keep it.
You do look a little. I can see that.
It's very funny. Is because I know Indian culture very well.
Yeah.
I keep talking to him about the Indian culture, and his face looking like something he doesn't know about us. But one day he talked to me and says, "I'm not Indian." I saw that.
Well, don't feel bad. I've had those experiences before.
I've been called many names. I'm
like
I'm a
me,
big
you know,
boy.
people always ask me because the Chinese people don't ask me
Because your name is Ito.
Yeah, and also my face a little bit dark, and because I'm not Han people,
Oh,
I'm kind
okay.
of like a Tibetan style.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
called,
okay.
It's called Yi people, and
Mm.
sometimes
Yee, Y-E-E?
Yi people.
Oh.
It's a kind of belong to Tibetan older state.
Oh, I see. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
But we are a very large group. We have
Mhm.
our own culture. But my face, a lot of people. And when I was in Japan, they call me foreigner. When I was in China, they call me Little Africa. I said, why you call me Little Africa? It's so bully. But I never be like
Yeah, like get upset.
negative. No,
Yeah.
no.
It's like,
And
oh,
when here, people say, where are you from? Thailand? Filipino?
yeah, I can see.
I said, whatever. I don't have identity. My name is Maya.
I was so afraid I was going to get something wrong. I'm like, okay, let me not say the wrong thing. I better.
No, I don't care.
You know,
I
be
don't mind.
quiet.
I don't mind what they call me and what they think I'm from.
From
you know,
wherever.
Yeah,
It doesn't
American. Now I will tell loudly to America.
Yeah,
So-
and that's what they say on the
Yeah.
internet. If you go on there and you say, "Oh, you look for an actor, an artist right now," they say American. They don't say black or a Korea or Korean or nothing. They just say American. You know, that's way easy. You
Yeah,
don't get it all out of the way
exactly.
because there's so many mixtures of cultures over here.
Interesting.
You know, so
That's a little bit out of today's conversation.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I wanted to hear that because
No, it's
I
good.
never asked Comic. I wonder where he's from because his name is Benitez, and I kept saying I don't know. It's not Martinez or Rodriguez or nothing. It's Benitez, and I don't know. I don't want to say Hispanic or Latino or Mexicano. You know, I don't know. I don't want to say anything. So that's why I wanted to ask.
Actually, Carlos later he talked to me. Even his parents is in Salvador, but his father is a Native American Indian.
Oh, so your father's a Native American.
Yeah, I have a little Indian in me.
Oh, so you do have Indian. You just
but-
had the wrong
but-
one.
but not from-
But I saw there's an Indian.
I know, but I'm saying it is Indian. It's Native American Indian. Oh wow!
But-
Say.
But
Interesting.
you know, growing up in LA and being young, the one thing that was nice growing up is that
Mhm.
I did grow up with people from Mexico, from Honduras, from Guatemala, all the different
Mhm.
countries. I got to learn a little bit from every culture because you know when you're young, you're like a sponge, right? So it's like
I was.
you working,
Yeah.
you
working.
going to school with
With everything.
with South Americans, Europe,
Different
you know,
cultures.
Asia, and you just absorbing. So, growing up in college, you know, it was like, oh, I want to do business, but then I was exposed to art. It was like, oh, this is
Who
this-
exposed you to art in your family, or is this something you tumbled upon in your life?
Stumble upon by being good. So I was in
Oh, wow.
college, and they
Okay.
said, "You're doing great. You're doing excellent.
your
Take it
grades.
easy. Go do something fun." I said,
Oh, you
I-
were a serious student.
Right, so-
oh, and you couldn't know how to
so-
relax. Yeah.
I grew up
Oh, that's
taking
cute.
pictures.
Good story.
I like, you know, color. So I went into photography and art. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, I realized that's actually bigger than anything you can do in this world.
Because it lasts forever.
Lasts forever.
That's right.
And then you're helping different
That's right.
communities, you're helping many
And
different
yourself.
people. And it's not about you, it's about others.
That's true.
So I decided I'll become a service person to
Be
the
of
arts.
service to humanity.
Yeah,
Oh,
to the arts.
And
yeah.
that's why we love you. Okay, we're close to time. I need you to tell people where we can find you. Go. Facebook, IG. What's your IG? What's your tags?
wait,
What's your social media tags?
Yeah.
So on the art side of the business, you can find us under ACCA Fine Arts on Instagram, and
On IG.
for the ACCA Journal, will be ACCA Journal Official. Those are the two platforms.
Okay.
And on our new platform, which we're activating in person in Beverly Hills, it will be a Pink Moon every Friday night. We bring in live art with live music.
Okay.
And we're welcoming everyone to come and participate. It is open to the public.
And
If
it is
you-
standing room only. So
Yeah.
if you don't get there early, you are out. I'm
And-
telling you that.
25. So I have,
You know.
I add that 25 is our kicker off for the DJ and art night.
Okay.
Please stop by 5 to
Yeah.
10.
So try to get there early, like I said, because it feels fast, So it's a big event and everyone loves the Pink Moon. It's very beautiful in there. It's very ambient. It's cute. It's cute. So
And
anyway, go
and
ahead.
Also, we're gonna kick off with the artist, you know him,
Okay.
Scott Hopkins.
Scotch Hopkins. I love you, Scotch. Don't take that, his girlfriend or whatever out there. We don't want you to take that wrong. I love you. He's such a nice person and such a great artist.
Yes,
Okay, so IG, ACCA Journal Official and ACCA Fine Arts on IG. That's Instagram. Don't forget about little old me. That is Osiris on IG. I am Osiris_Munir_. That's MUNIR_. The Painter on Facebook, Unk Entertainment. On Snapchat, Osirison. On Twitter, all of them. On X. I'm on all the platforms. Just Google my name. You will find me no matter where I am. I will appear just like magic. So let's thank our guest again. ACCA, Carlos Benitez, and Maya Ito for bringing their beautiful selves into our wonderful LA Talk Radio studio. And anything else you want to say before we go? Go.
Thank you so much to have me. I was a little bit nervous, but I had
A good time.
experience 20 years ago, my first time. Yeah.
Mhm.
So thank you so much. And please join us at October 25th at the Pink Moon.
Okay, October 25th at the Pink Moon in Beverly Hills. Don't forget, put it on
Oh,
your
yes.
calendar now. October 25, that's next week. So it's that quick. So I think it's next weekend, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Before
It's next
Halloween.
weekend, you guys. So you only have a little bit of time to get the tickets. I think they're running now. Show up at the Pink Moon, meet these two beautiful people. I may or may not be there because I have to work. Okay, I am self-employed. So I work all the time, but usually I try to make it to the events. Okay. So let's go. It's time out and we will be talking to you later. Let's go for it. And bye-bye. See you next time. Bye.
You are listening to 15 Minutes, the show with Osiris Munir, only on LA Talk Radio.